all the games that... G'day all you mad gamers, I'm Mad Mikey and I come from the land down under. And in today's gaming show of news and opinions, we're going to talk about how, you know, those animations and just the actual characters in the Shenmue 3 trailer didn't really look all that good. Well, we've got a bit of an explanation on today's show. EB Games is trying out a whole new Netflix subscription service, so stay tuned for that to find out how that one's going to work. BioWare has come out and said that, you know what? There's no reason that Mass Effect shouldn't be coming back. So that's some really good news. And quick news is back with a new PlayStation 4 console, new Injustice characters, Final Fantasy, is it going to come to the Switch? And a little bit of an update on the SNES Classic. And all that and more. Well, not much more, but it's in today's gaming news. But don't forget, it's my opinion. Mad Mikey Gaming. That's right, all you mad gamers. Welcome to today's edition, which is the 24th of August 2017. I'm Mad Mikey, and I'm here to talk about all the gaming news that's out there. So what I do is I go out, I get all that information. I generally have feelings about these things, so I give my opinion on a few things. And don't forget, if you do like today's video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it, subscribe to me, and press that little ring-a-ding button up the top so that you never miss one of my episodes. So, as we said at the start of the show, there's been a bit of an explanation around what happened with the Shenmue 3 trailer over at Gamescom. So, if you missed yet the other show that I did, which was 2 days ago, I did sort of talk about the trailer and how I thought that just how the world looked beautiful, like all the textures of the grass and the actual towns and everything looked amazing, but it looked like the characters were a bit of a letdown. Well, they had a place called Game Watch in Press. They did an interview with the series creator, Suzuki, and there was a bit of an explanation around those things. So they started off by asking, is the trailer all in-game or is it pre-render? Suzuki then said it's completely in-game trailer. As for the completion percentage, how much of the game is actually done? And Suzuki replied, because there are various scenes tied together, saying how much is done is difficult. And as for the characters, everything is still temp data. They then asked a follow-up question of the characters' facial expressions are still, or how should I say this, fixed. But this part will actually change? Question. Yes, we haven't yet put the facial animations. Until a month ago, we had put in the facial animations, but for the moment, they had been removed. So, there it is. Look, I think it was really silly of them to put out a trailer. They announced quite a while ago that they were going to be putting a trailer at Gamescom this year, so they have had time to do this. And when you put out a trailer, you want to put your best foot forward. I don't think they really did that, but as I said, look, the world itself looked fantastic. The character movement and everything, it looks like it's all there, but to say that the game is coming out next year, you can actually tell. But I just don't understand why they didn't maybe just put out a pre-rendered, story trailer or something like that, because there's still no voice animations. I mean, they may yet have done the voice animations for this game, but it's still a game that I'm very much looking forward to, so I can't wait for them to bring this one up. In the next bit of news, as I said, EB Games is trying like a Netflix subscription sort of thing with used games at the moment. For the time being at the moment, it's only been announced that it is available in South Australia. But basically what they do is it's a $20 a month subscription service, and you can borrow as many games as you want for that month. Only one at a time. So basically you'll go into EB Games, you'll show them your card or whatever, they will have the subscription. So whether it's a card or it's on your mobile phone app, they'll obviously scan it, and then voila, you can take that game home and sort of bring it back, obviously within the month. But if you're continuing your subscription, I suppose you can keep going. So this is actually a really interesting thing. It's sort of like bringing back a movie rental system. I'm actually applauding EB Games for this. They're trying to stay relevant in there in terms of keeping customers coming in, sales A lot of people are sort of adapting to that sort of Netflix format that we've got out there at the moment. So they are trying. I don't think that this is going to work. I think people who buy games generally buy games. But hey, for those low-income earners who really can't afford that much, and look, secondhand games come back all the time, so who's to say that somebody sort of bought the latest game, didn't like it, returned it within that week policy, and or they returned it a couple of days after and they couldn't actually return it for the full price, so then they just have to trade it in. Hey, then you got one of the newest titles. Then it's really not uncommon to see a brand new title there in the secondhand pile a week or two afterwards. So it's going to be interesting to see if this does work for them. It's definitely good that they are trying something new for their customers out there. And as I said, some good news over at BioWare. So in many reports, like obviously over the last couple of weeks, it has been announced that Mass Effect has been put on the shelf. There's going to be no DLC, no further updates or anything like that. So that automatically had all us Mass Effect fans scrambling, thinking, what the hell? No, it can't be over. It can't be over. Well, Patrick Sunderland was over talking at Games Radar, Reactor. Sorry. And he said, I've seen people saying, oh, EA's not making another Mass Effect. And he said, I see no reason why we shouldn't come back to Mass Effect. Why not? It's a spectacular universe, it's a loved series, it has a big fan base, and it's a game that has done a lot for EA and BioWare. Sunderland did say that EA and BioWare had to be careful about ensuring that whenever Mass Effect does come back, that it does so relevant, fresh, and in an exciting way. It's the Mass Effect team, BioWare, and also his job that make that happen, he added. So this is really good news. I'd never really thought, I mean, there's obviously that doubt in your mind that, oh, could EA really do this? Is the fan base still there? I mean, they did announce that Andromeda did make a profit. They didn't say how many copies were sold or anything like that. I myself already have 2 copies, but that's because I'm a game collector and a cheapskate sometimes, because I got the second one cheap. But it's really good news. I hope that they do come back stronger than ever. I mean, this is really the first Mass Effect game that people have sort of ridiculed and said that it's a bad game. It's not a bad game. It just had a bit of really high expectations to bring back to its fans because it was on next gen. They were moving the story in a different direction. So there was obviously going to be a bit of a different opinion from different sides of all the Mass Effect fans. And as we all know, Mass Effect fans are quite loud. And as soon as that sort of facial animation stuff came out, people were obviously backstating, but I quite enjoyed the game. Was it a perfect game? I don't think there's ever a perfect game, but I did enjoy it. I am playing it currently at the moment on the PS4 Pro to see what differences there are, and I couldn't really notice them that much in 4K. But let's get into the quick news. Now, as I said on the last video, Sony were teasing something very big to be announced over at Gamescom, and that has been released, that it is going to be a Gran Turismo themed or inspired console with the game. So this is going to be coming out October 18. The main bundle is going to include a limited edition 2-tone silver and black 1TB slim console and a customized controller. The day one edition of Gran Turismo Sport will also be included, which gives the player access to 250,000 in-game credits, livery stickers, or however you say it, a chrome racing helmet, and 60 PS4 avatars. So if you ever had trouble of thinking of friggin' what avatars you want on there, you should have plenty to pick from. Now, there are a couple of versions of this. There is the Jet Black PS4 1TB, you've got a Jet Black 500 gig edition, you've got a Jet Black PS4 1TB plus an extra Jet Black DualShock Control edition, and you have the Jet Black PS4 Pro edition. Now, yeah, why we're getting 1TB ones at this point, I don't understand, but no wonder PlayStation's selling so many consoles. They keep bringing out a themed one every friggin' 3 months, so I just think that it's really silly. Look, there's fans out there that'll like this. I'm not going to be getting one. But also, the latest characters have been announced that are coming out to Injustice 2. They are going to be Hellboy, Raiden, and Black Manta. Now, very good. These are different characters, but when they bring back these Mortal Kombat characters, I love Mortal Kombat, I love Injustice, but you've already done your crossover. Stop bringing them back. To me, it feels like it's lazy developing. There's now 2 Mortal Kombat characters in this game. I feel that they could have just been Marvel or DC. Or superheroes. Sorry about that. Over also at Gamescom, there was a bit of a tease that possibly that the Final Fantasy 15 game may in fact be coming to the Nintendo Switch. It did also priorly get announced, if priorly is a word, that you can actually buy there's a new mobile phone game coming out that's like a sort of watered down version of the game, but for your mobile. So, and sort of like the Final Fantasy Worlds looking characters. So that should be interesting to see how that goes. But in a Twitch stream, they were talking about. They were just talking about it, and one of the game developers sort of came out and said, everyone on the Final Fantasy 15 team loves this specific console. That sounds a lot like Twitch. So you may want to think about something like that in the future, he concluded. Jokes aside, that sounds pretty... So, look, that's a little tease. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you know what? You can cross your fingers, because they were just recently showing off Skyrim over there, and they... we're actually saying that it was looking pretty good on the tablet. No word of it sort of being on the big screen in dock mode, but they said for the time being it on the tablet running at a steady 30 frames per second, and it looked pretty good. In the last bit, Gamescom, they showed off a trailer for the new SNES Mini Classic. That's a mouthful. And it actually showed off that they had a rewind feature. So the left and the right trigger during in-game, I think if you hold down on it or something, it can rewind the game. So if you die or something, you can rewind. This sounds like it's making it really super easy, and that people are really struggling with these old games and their difficulty. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? Nah, but it's just my opinion. Guys, that's it for today's show. If you liked the video, again, just give it a thumbs up. If you've got any opinions of your own, hit them down there in the comments section down below, or over on my social medias. But when in Rome, I always say. But guys, I will very likely see you guys tomorrow for either some more gaming news or I'll probably never play. But until then, guys, I hope you have a great day gaming, and I will see you when I see you. Bye, guys!